So, in terms of wildlife in Australia, have you got any really favourite wildlife experiences that you've had here, or any negative wildlife experiences? How do you feel about it all?
Well, we've probably got about 80% of every deadly creature that can kill you a million times over here, haven't we? But I'm still here. I love the wildlife here, and I don't just mean, I mean, there's plenty of zoos and things that you can go and visit and see, all the different ones. The thing that I absolutely love is kind of just the wildlife that's just out there.
Mm.
So the birds, for example, when we first came over the first morning, the sun comes up really early here, and goes down quite early as well. But I remember waking up at about 4 o'clock thinking, who's put the light on? And number two, who's whistling? Because I actually thought there were kind of a group of people kind of playing some music on it. It was the birds, it was the wildlife outside, just literally not just tweeting, but actually kind of singing songs almost. And I love that. There's lots of, the birds are all different colours, beautiful colours. There's parrots, there's cockatoos flying about, there's bats the size of your arm. Seriously, we thought there were
Yeah.
birds to start with, and I thought, no, they're too big for birds, but enormous bats, flying
There's
foxes.
nothing quite like in summer when the sun's gone down and it's night, but it's a really lovely evening and you're in the pool in the dark watching bats flying over your head,
Yeah,
enjoying a nighttime swim.
but there's near us. We've got we're very lucky. We've got a series of islands near us, but Stradbroke Island is one of our particular favourites, and you can do a day trip to it from here. Um, but camping there, you can go and see the whales
Mm.
at certain times of year breaching in the ocean. When we were camping, there were dolphins literally from here to 20 meters away from the shore. We saw, we were walking around, we looked round, and there was a kangaroo watching us from behind. Um, what else did we see? Stingrays.
Mm.
I'm sure there were sharks there as well, but we didn't see any. But all of this wildlife, I just think is incredible that it's just there and you can
Yeah.
just see it. But we've got a little lake, kind of a man-made lake, not too far from us that we'll walk around occasionally. And again, you can hear the birds any time of day as you're walking around. They're really loud. But if you stop and look closely, there are turtles, 10, 20,
Mm.
30 turtles just poking their heads up to have a look at you. Um, the lizards as well, the water lizards, just stopping, looking at you and just sunbathing. And, they're not frightened of you, they're just kind of eyeing you up. I find it incredible. I find it's just amazing that it's all round you. And there's no end of it. So even now we're in winter, there's birds flying around. We still have dragonflies flying over the pool, which are beautiful. We've not really had any horrible experiences. We've had a snake skin in the garden, but we didn't find the snake. Um, Mosquitoes are a bit of a pest, but
Yeah.
you've got the sprays for those. So no, that's really one of the highlights, I think, for us, the wildlife that's just there.
Yeah, and I think with the little ones as well, like our kids just love it. We have koalas in the trees at school. So they've got some trees around a little kind of man-made lake
Ah,
there, and they just love looking for koalas there. And they have kangaroos come onto their oval, their school field when everyone's gone home at night. And yeah, just this. We went for a barbecue a few weeks ago, and there were just dolphins just next to us where we were having the barbecue, and you can't you can't even put into words how lovely I think it is to have
mm,
all of these experiences right on your doorstep. But yeah, I'm
yeah.
with you on the mosquitoes because we went to the park last night and we lasted about 10 minutes before we were kind of getting
Oh,
eaten alive, and two
yeah.
two of mine get really bitten and kind of react to it, so they don't like that. But we should have thought ahead and bought the mosquito spray. But yeah, and it's not all the time, is it, the mosquitoes? It's just sort of at different times it kind of comes and goes and seems to get
Yeah, it
worse and
does.
get better.
They seem to disappear in the winter when the weather gets a bit colder, and it tends to be around dusk, doesn't it, when
Mm.
they do come out. But yeah, it's no big deal. You can spray your house, you get the sprays and what have you. And if you can here's a tip. My favourite mosquito lotion is something called Afterbite that you can't get in Australia, but it's everywhere in the UK, and it's really cheap and
Oh,
it's brilliant.
right, I'm writing that
Brilliant.
down.